Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hope you all are well and preparing for your upcoming papers. This lecture is for second year pre-medical students prepared by lecturer Miss Saadia Kazmi and lecturer Miss Afia Hassan under the supervision of Head of the Department of Zoology, Associate Professor Miss Shazia Khanam and Assistant Professor Miss Mushkbar Fatma at Government Degree Girls College, Block 19, Alnoor, FB area, Karachi. The topic which we will study today is joints and its types from Chapter 2, Support and Movement of second year book. Joints. The points at which bones connect each other are called as joints. Students, अगर हमारा स्केलेटन सिंगल बोन का बना होता तो वो मजबूत तो बहुत होता, मगर उसमें हिलने, जुलने, मुड़ने, झुकने की सलाहियत न होती, जिसकी वजह से कोई भी जानदार जो हड्डियां रखता है उसको मूवमेंट में बहुत मुश्किल होती। इसीलिए नेचुरली एनिमल्स की बोन्स में जॉइंट्स मौजूद होते हैं, बिकॉज जॉइंट्स इंक्रीजेस द मोबिलिटी ऑफ द बॉडी, दे हेल्प इन movement, bending, stretching, along with the help of muscles. Many joints are movable and help in the movement of an animal and its body parts. Now, types of joints. Human skeleton have several different types of joints. There are actually three types of main joints that are divided into more parts. So joints have three main parts: freely movable joints, partially movable joints, fixed joints or immovable joints. Freely movable joints. Freely movable joints have more types that are: number 1, ball and socket joint, 2, hinge joint, 3, pivot joint, 4, gliding joint, and 5th, sliding joint. Now we will discuss all of the parts of freely movable joints in detail. So the first part which we will discuss in detail is, number 1 is ball and socket joint. As you have observed in the given diagram, that in this type of joint, the ball-like head of the long bone of thigh or upper arm fits into the cup-like socket of girdle. This joint allows higher movement of arms and legs almost in circular direction or give rotatory movement. The most important example of ball and socket joint is the joint of shoulder, in which the humerus bone attached to the socket of girdle, along with the bones of thigh. And the example is another example of ball and socket joint is the joint found in thigh. The next freely movable joint is hinge joint. The joints of elbow and knee are hinge joint, and you can easily observe the hinge joint in the given diagram. These joints enable the movement of forelimb and hind limb back and forth. This movement is similar to the hinge joint at which door swings. The next freely movable joint is pivot joint. Along with the hinge joint, you have observed in the diagram that elbow has another joint which is called as pivot joint that allows a twisting movement. By moving the pivot joint of elbow, you can rotate the palm of hand upside down. The skull is also connected to the spine by a similar pivot joint found in elbow, and the pivot joint found in the skull allows the sideways movement of head. You can observe it in the given diagram. Next freely movable joint is sliding joint. Sliding joints connect the bones found in ankle or wrist. In this type of joint, bones slide over one another to allow movement of wrist or ankle in many directions. The next freely movable joint is gliding joint, and you can observe it in the given diagram. Vertebrae are linked by gliding joints. With the help of these joints, the bones move easily over one another in a back and forth manner. Gliding joints make the backbone flexible. Now we have discussed all of the joints which are included in freely movable joint. Now we will discuss about the second main part of joint, which is partially movable joints. As you have observed in the diagram, partially movable joint allows little movement in the bones. The main example of partially movable joint is the joint of ribs with the vertebrae. Ribs are attached with vertebrae by partially movable joints. These joints permit ribs to move up and down while we breathe in or out. The third joint is fixed joints or immovable joints. You have easily observed the fixed joint in the diagram. Some joints fix together tightly like the pieces of a puzzle. They don't allow the joining bones to move. These joints are called as fixed joints, and you can observe it in the given diagram, that is a skull, that the joints of the skull are so fixed together that they cannot move. Fixed joints connect the bone of a skull in the form of a case to protect the brain. Hopefully, students, you have understood the whole lecture of joints properly. You can also get the reference of the topic from your books. Best of luck for your papers. Thank you.